Anita, could you start us off with the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Those concurrence to New Jersey Public Media Law have been satisfied with reporting news release in the Asbury Park Press. On December 20th, 2014, stating that a regular meeting of the Colfax Township Committee would be held on April 8th, 2015, 7:30 p.m. at Town Hall. Notice of concurrence been posted on Township website. Copy is on file at the office of the Township Clerk.
Roll call, please.
This committeeman Engel is not able to attend tonight. Deputy Mayor Wargo. Here. Committeeman Fitzgerald. Here. Committeeman Macnow. Here. Mayor Schatzler.
Here, item number 1 is approval of minutes. We have 2 of them, meetings of March 18th, 2015 and March 25th, 2015. Questions, additions?
Move.
Second. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo.
Yes.
Committeeman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Committeeman Macnow.
Yes.
Mayor Schatzler.
Yes, one of those meetings was ongoing personnel issues, specifically the business administrator interviews. Some great proclamations this evening. Item number 2 is a proclamation for National Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month for April 2015. Our wonderful Women's Club, ToCN, is made sure that this was brought to our attention, and we appreciate that, and we have several of their representatives here tonight. So I will read part of this proclamation. Mayor's Proclamation, Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month within the Township of Colts Neck, April 2015. Whereas the maltreatment, abuse, and neglect of children is a significant social problem that damages children physically, mentally, and emotionally, and inflicts immeasurable harm on society as a whole, and all children deserve to be nurtured, protected, and free from physical or emotional harm. And whereas all sectors of the community, including law enforcement, medical professionals, schools, courts, and media outlets, as well as numerous public and private agencies, have joined forces to promote public awareness and community involvement in strengthening families during the month of April and continuing throughout the year. Now, therefore, I, James C. Schatzel, Mayor of the Township of Colts Neck, do hereby proclaim April 2015 as Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month within the Township of Colts Neck, and urge our residents to become involved in efforts aimed at strengthening families and communities and preventing our children from being abused and neglected. So if I could pass on one of our proclamations that we put in a nice little frame to the Women's Club, we would appreciate that. Who would like to receive it?
Anita.
Volunteer.
I do.
Good. Tony would get a picture.
And please, when the weather clears, go look at the library at our pinwheel garden that we planted.
Nice. Really?
We'll talk about that after our picture.
Yes.
Excellent. Tell us a little about the pinwheel park, if you would.
Well, pinwheels are the symbol of youth. As part of the campaign for Childhood Abuse Awareness Month is to plant pinwheel gardens. And we chose the public library as the landscape for ours. We thought that gets the most attention from our children and the public. So we were out there the other day, some volunteers planting our beautiful garden. There will be signs that will be posted explaining that April is Awareness Month and that these are pinwheels for prevention. We also have some, in case some of the children have to come by and want to take one, more than welcome to have one. We can replace them at any time, so there's no problem.
Excellent. Great. Thank you very much. Actually, I'll let you do that. I think might be one of the last ones there, so, but thank you. Item number 2 is a mayor's proclamation for the week of the young child, the week of April 13th to 17th, 2015. So ties in a little bit with what we just talked about. Whereas the Colts Neck Reformed Church Nursery School and other local organizations, in conjunction with the National Association for the Education of Young Children, are celebrating the Week of the Young Child, April 13th to 17th, 2015. And whereas these organizations are working to improve early learning opportunities, including early literacy programs that can provide a foundation of learning for children in Colts Neck, New Jersey. And whereas public policies that support early learning for all young children are crucial to young child's futures. Now, therefore, I, Mayor of Colts Neck, along with the entire Township Committee and Township of Colts Neck, do hereby proclaim April 13th to 17th, 2015 as the Week of the Young Child in Colts Neck, New Jersey, and encourage all citizens to work to make a good investment in early childhood in Colts Neck, New Jersey. Excellent. I'll make sure that that gets over to, I'm sorry, hold them up for me.
Mrs. Jacoby, Mrs. Holt?
Would you bring that over for them? Could you bring that back to the Savage, Mrs. Savage for us? Would be wonderful. Very much appreciated.
She's a member too, come.
Sure.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come on in. Right on this side there. You all just lined right up there perfectly. Excellent.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, mom's hostess or something?
Oh, yeah,
I'm bringing something over, so
Oh,
okay. I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it. My children may be the first to take two of those pinwheels. I can see that happening, so glad you have some extras. Thank you. Get some gas. Number 4, ordinance 2015-4, an ordinance amending sections 98-2 and 98-3, setting forth fees for construction permits in the Township of Colts Neck. This is second reading by title. We've discussed this is tweaking some of the permits, which our departments always look at, and make sure that our fees are in accordance with other towns, with making sure that we cover the cost of sending our inspectors out to do permits. This one addresses some generator issues, which is more of an issue the past several years than it has been before. Any comments from the committee? No. If not, I'll open this to the public. Any comments? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and ask for motion to approve. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Deputy Macnow?
Yes.
Mayor Shatzel?
Yes. Item number 5, ordinance 2015-5, an ordinance entitled the 2015 Salary Ordinance for the Township of Colts Neck White Collar Unit. This is also second reading by title. Any comments from the committee? Open to the public. See no comments, closing the public hearing and asking for motion to approve.
I move that forward. The same reason that I moved the first one.
Excellent. That might be a contract. Committeeman Borgo, second that. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Deputy Macnow?
Yes.
Mayor Shatzel?
Yes. Item number 6, ordinance 2015-6, an ordinance for the Township of Colts Neck in the County of Monmouth in the State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 62, Shade Tree Commission. This is also a second reading by title. We've been speaking about this. This kind of defines a little bit about street trees, so that has been an additional paragraph or sentence that's been added to the ordinance. Any comments from the committee? Open to the public? Seeing no comments, closing that and asking for motion for approval.
Can we go through one of those?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Fitzgerald?
Abstain.
Deputy Macnow?
Yes.
Mayor Shatzel?
Yes. Item number 7, resolution 2015-51, resolution confirming adoption of a multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. I can speak on that on behalf of our coordinator of our Office of Emergency Management, Michael Burke, who's at several meetings tonight, doing some good things as always that he does for the township. He's also our current fire chief. So you can imagine, especially when it comes to funding, when emergencies happen, like superstorms and Irene and Sandy and things like that, that funding starts from federal, goes to state, goes to county, goes to local. So with that, there's a number of obligations that we have, even to be able to apply for that funding after an emergency or even before an emergency in certain circumstances. So this resolution takes the ordinance from the county, specifically the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, Office of Emergency Management, and accepts it as our plan as well. This way the resolution, the wording is from the county, which came from the state, which I'm sure came from the feds as well. So this just keeps us in line with the plan. I would love to say if we ever needed it, but unfortunately when, hopefully far in the future, that we need some funding for any hazard mitigations, this can be done through the plan. Any other comments?
Move.
Okay, second. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fitzgerald? Yes. Deputy Mayor McNabb?
Yes.
Mayor Shattuck?
Thank you to Michael Burke for taking care of that for us, and all that he's done for updating our emergency plan. Item number 8 is Resolution 2015-52, resolution confirming appointment to Historical Preservation Committee. We're excited to have Mr. Christopher Short here this evening. We're sorry to get a chance before the meeting to say hello, but we're glad that you're here, and we're able to swear you in that you're here, so if you don't mind coming up. And our administrator, clerk, Mr. Bowden, is going to have you do a short little...
I think you might want to appoint him first, and then we'll swear.
all these technical things. Keep us on board that.
Motion to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McNabb? Mayor Shattuck?
Do you think in May, when I make an error like that, you'll just have a little twitch at home and kind of know? You know?
Sure, that arrow will square you away.
Just thanks for coming out on the slot meeting.
Yeah, I know.
If you orient. That's good. Raise your right hand. I don't know if you can see that, but repeat after me. I'm going to say aye, or say your name, and then repeat after me.
I, Christopher Short,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly
that
swear
I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of the
Jersey,
State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as a member
as a member
of the Historic Preservation Committee
of the Historic Preservation
in the
Committee
Township of Colts Neck
in the Township of Colts Neck,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God. Chris, if you could just sign this oath. And we'll take it from here.
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Short
Thank you.
on accepting that appointment. You are now one of the largest groups in the
Thank you,
township.
Christopher. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
So glad that you're here with us for that. Thank you. Resolution, or item number 9, resolution 2015-53, resolution authorizing reduction of performance guarantees, planning board application number 629A. Any comments from the committee?
Just on my recusal on that, please, Beth.
For the record, that was based upon the recommendation of the township engineer and his calculation of performance guarantees that are necessary, formulating the reason for the reduction, and with that I would move that approval.
Excellent. Second. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wargo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Committeeman McNabb, recuse yourself from this. So noted. Mayor Shattuck?
Yes. Item number 10, administration report. Administration.
No report tonight, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 11, motion to approve vouchers. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. I did go through the vouchers. As you know, I was level not too comment in it. This $473,037.01. The couple of, just two quick explanations, so in case anybody happens to look through it closely. I did just want to again raise, there's a couple repair items on there with the Avis Service Center. There's our mechanic, I didn't know who was to follow up with that shared service issue. I just don't want to, I'm going to keep saying it every time so that we don't, so it doesn't drop.
You can do it, the mayor can address it.
And
So, sure, happy to tell you. So we have met with the county, discussed a number of things there. We have Avis on board just to, why we were getting that all situated.
recall that.
So that the cars are already headed to the county.
Thank you. There's a voucher, a case that should come up to Tom Hennessy of $279.31. That was a repayment for things he purchased for the Easter egg hunt. Not sure what we have done, having done that right now. I'm disappointed children. And if you don't understand, TFS as C, TFS as CST for eBerry Fund 1NJ, that's a refunding of a bond. So that was a total $98,000, but that was that explanation. And with that, I would ask for approval of the vouchers.
Move. Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Warville,
Yes, except to include myself in Pine Tree.
Newman Fitzgerald,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes, except for schools.
Deputy Mayor Shaft.
And yes, except for TNAC.
So,
I want to clean.
There you go. Township committee reports. Michael, you want to start us off?
Sure. I was out of town and missed Sports Foundation. I apologize to the committee, but I'll get it next month. I had Shade Tree and COA. Good, because I had it at the same time. And this committee back now sits on that. I would defer to him on COA. But on Shade Tree, they moved along quite well on this approval for the arboretum around the township center here. And they've, quite frankly, done a yeoman's job of getting that moving along. They also had a program where they gave out seedlings that came from the state Saturday past. And I don't know how successful they were. I apologize again, but they had, I want to say, 1,200 seedlings to give out that were provided by the state. So it was some good stuff. But I think that at some point in time, Bob, if we could maybe if we could get a resolution to the Shade Tree Commission for their getting this arboretum deal done. You know, we so often take our volunteers for granted. They did it, I think, as quickly as any arboretum has ever been approved in the state, in the country. It usually takes months and months and months, and they knocked it out in 3 months. And they're not done yet. So I think that I'd like to be able to carry something back to them to show them that their efforts are not lost on us. Thank you, Mayor.
John, this is for you. COA, you had asked about COA. So we had a COA subcommittee meeting on April 2nd, 2015 with our professionals. And here's the status of COA, at least as it currently stands. The good news, the one bit of good news is, some municipalities had some portion of their funds taken by the state because they didn't adequately dedicate those funds. We did not. Our plan was approved to the extent that we've committed existing funds, so that's the good news. We don't lose any money to the state. The bad news is, from what we understand, is the court system, the Supreme Court, essentially took the problem away from COA and threw it into the court system. And so right now, the
courts collectively within the state, and hopefully collectively, not on an individualized basis, have 90 days until June 8th of 2015 to come up with some type of parameters for municipalities to file suit and seek approval of their COA plans. And so the first date, then there'll be a 30-day window to file. There'll be 30 days from that to petition, so that July 8, 2015 will be the date of the petition. And the goal would then be to have a compliant plan, although, like I said, we're not really sure what we have to comply with yet because we don't know what the rules are. We're hoping that it's consistent with the third round rules, which would not have been very burdensome to us, but we don't know that to be the case yet. We intend to be fairly aggressive with it and to file as soon as we can, and submit a plan as soon as we can to the state. and hopefully get our plan approved as expeditiously as possible. That's kind of where we stand with that right now. That's it.
And so it's clear, what the committee of Mac was saying is we did not have any funds forfeited. We did have a plan, and we did what we're supposed to do, so I just want to make sure there's no confusion on that.
Excellent, thank you. Tom?
I had 2 meetings, one was canceled, one I didn't make. I had the grant, I missed that last Thursday night, that was canceled. And CNDA this morning, I didn't make it.
Thank you. Just a few things to report. The Board of Health met last night, spent considerable time speaking to the experts that did the water testing for the Manor Home project, the 48 townhomes on 537. Lots and lots of information, and very proud of all the boards, commissions, and committees, including the Board of Health, that really made sure that our water supply is always adequate and protected. And of course, with this Manor Home project, there's also going to be a water treatment plant, if you will, a package plant. We went over not only for the immediate needs as it's engineered, as it's built, but 50 or more years down the road. And I was very satisfied, as our health officer was, with making sure that all the provisions to protect Colts Neck now and in the future are in place. So excellent job, as usual, by our Board of Health. On a lighter note, and a much more fun note than talking about water treatment plants, the fair is up and running, and it's good to see Anita, and I will do my best to make sure we get you lots of help this year. 25th anniversary for the Colts Neck Fair, so it's big doings. The fair committee has decided this year to move the fair back to the more traditional end of August, which happens to be the 20th to the 23rd, and big rides and big fair and big anniversary. We're very, very excited about that. Much more to come as time goes on. But please, anybody that, either yourself, you know somebody that would like to lend a hand to the fair committee, there's plenty of jobs to do, and of course, the more people we have, the smaller the job will be. So we're looking for some volunteers. That's all I have this evening, so I will open it up to the public. Elaine?
I have one question on the bills list. On the historic committee's trust account, there was an expense of $325, but I was confused at the next one of $194.85. It said folio art glass donation to the schoolhouse.
There were, I forget, remember what it was? But the Folio Art Gas gave it, it's listed as a donation because that was actually the cost to Folio. So Folio was paid, but they donated everything past their cost. So instead of being the retail price.
Okay, because
So
it
it
was
is
confusing, that was
Yes,
quite
yes.
confusing.
Yes, and why would we pay for a donation? And that's why. So
Okay.
there was, the donation was everything beyond their own cost.
Okay. At a former meeting, how much did the Historic Preservation Fund receive from the former committee?
52,000 and change.
52,000 and change, okay, I was off by 1,000. The Historical Preservation Committee should consider using this windfall to replace the town wall's cupola and portion of the stairs. Their mission is to maintain and preserve the historic heritage of the community. So notwithstanding, this building is the prime historic heritage of Colts Neck, I believe. So I think we should ask them to help us out in that endeavor. And I think the committee should, any new construction that we're doing or any repair work should have the permits put into place by the building department. They should be issued and all inspections made by our building department so we can protect the township and its residents from shoddy workmanship. And this would also ensure that the work performed is according to the specs. Okay? And Committeeman Macnow, I heard that you received a historic document from Mr. Billingsley.
Nope.
You didn't, in reference to the schoolhouse, Montrose Road Schoolhouse and the
I
transfer?
don't even know what you're talking about, so it definitely wasn't me.
Well, somebody received it that I was told.
Over a year ago, yes.
Yes,
Over a
okay.
year ago, yeah. It's at the schoolhouse.
And it is at the schoolhouse, that's where it's on display? Because that was my next question.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last thing I had to say was thank you for getting the girls their panic button. But I can't understand why we got them panic buttons and we didn't do a whole total burglar alarm system in this building.
Anything else?
Why do we always do half the job and then have to call the people back in to do the rest of the job?
Anything else?
No, that's it.
$52,121.80.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Other comments? Chuck?
The last snowstorm, Bob, how much did that cost?
Approximately $40,000 in privates and probably another $10,000 here and overtime.
Do we have money left for that last appropriation, 60,000 after the last budget year? We have enough money, do we have?
Yes.
We didn't use it last, we didn't use the private last time.
That's true. The last storm that we paid for, which was March 6th, was roughly the number I gave.
39.1.
Yeah. Well, I.
Well, what about the storm on,
Oh,
what about the storm on Friday the 20th?
okay, that storm, Mr. Rogo's quite correct. We didn't pull in privates at all. It was done entirely with our township forces. So, again, didn't know because storm was Friday.
Yeah, the forecast was for warm weather the following day, so they opted not to do it.
And when it came on Friday morning, it wasn't much overtime. But again, $5,000 to $10,000, but no privates were used at that storm.
I have one question for Mr. Mackin. What's the League of Municipalities position on the new code program? You know?
I don't think there's anything to comment on it because everybody's in limbo right now. We see the league reports coming out. I don't remember seeing one specifically on Coed, John.
I didn't see him take a position yet, Chuck.
The league, yeah.
You know, I think the league's position is that they were disappointed in the Supreme Court decision because it kind of meant that the individual towns got to deal with it individually without having an overall blueprint made. Because COA in October deadlocked on coming up with the Tier 3. The Supreme Court then said, well, COA, if you're not going to do it, then every town has to go, like Commitment said, and go seek your relief individually, town by town, judge by judge. And so it's going to be, it's a defeat for the municipalities and a plus more for the builders and the fair housing.
Yeah, but as far as the actual parameters of what we have to do now, there's nothing to comment on that because they haven't. I mean, at least in our discussions, at least from the lawyers' perspectives, we're hoping that all the vicinages in the state, the court vicinages, get together and come up with a unified game plan on how to attack this rather than it be on an individualized basis, which could easily happen, in which case there'd be no uniformity at all.
That's the problem.
Yeah, well, the hope is that our court system does what we believe they should do, which is to come up with a unified set of rules and a plan for dealing with this, rather than, because what could conceivably happen is, the expectation is there'll be a designated judge in every county to deal with the COA claim. But in each of the vicinages, you could conceivably have a different set of parameters for dealing with and a different set of rules, and that really wouldn't be good for obvious reasons. There would be no consistency throughout the state. So the hope is that the courts will get together and come up with some type of unified plan, even though they have 90 days, they only have 90 days to deal with this. It's a ridiculously short amount of time.
They're basically going to invite further litigation in every municipality.
Right.
Because the town gives their plan, and then the Supreme Court has designated that that plan must be sent to the Fair Housing Share and the New Jersey Builders Association, who have the opportunity to comment. So they get the plan sent to them. I can only tell you, in like one little town in Monmouth County, in Oceanport, the number under the third round originally was 3. The builders, the Fair Housing Share has said that the number is 444. So that gives you kind of an example of the differences in the parameters. So that will force that third round, in quotes, to be disputed and lawyers are gonna do very well. So that's good, that's good news.
I don't think the judges are happy about it. May I comment just briefly? Of course. I will tell you that Committee Macnell and I both read the opinion at length, and I've been involved in, I guess, all four ends in various and sundry spots. But what I found striking is that the court said they're going to put it back to the courts. The towns have to file a plan within 30 days, and they move that back a little bit. But you have 90 days to file a plan to get that protection from a builder remedy lawsuit. But they didn't tell the courts what the rules should be.
Correct.
Or what it is you're supposed to comply with. And promptly on the heels of that, what's little known is that COA then took down all of their own rules. Because the first, the first guys out of the box were saying, well, okay, we'll just go back and look and see what COA did, because maybe that's what the judges will look to see how they'll follow the rules. And COA took all the rules down off their website. So they couldn't be used for that reason. There's a school of thought that it was vindictive, there's a school of thought that it was just done so that they have to come up with their own rules and shouldn't follow them. But they've said you have to hurry up and do this, you have to file, but they haven't said what the rules are. So it's really horrible in a lot of ways. So the good news is, I will say that the COA subcommittee and our planner, Tim Manfuso, have been out in front of this. The reality is we've been proactive, and we've tried to find some favorable ways to fulfill any requirements that may come up, so that we're not, like most towns do, which is trying to figure out how to fulfill the requirements before they get sued, after they've been determined not to be in compliance. We try to be in compliance ahead of the curve. So I think in that respect, we put ourselves in as good a position as we possibly can as a result of the work of that subcommittee.
Excellent, thank you. Any other comments? Jeff?
Thank you, Jim. Really quick, Jeff Sauter, 41 Ann Street, Colts Neck. Who approves the bills or does the review of the bills in 2013? I know Mike did it last year, he did it this year. Was he also in 2013?
Don't remember.
It was either you
It was either myself or Mike.
one or the other.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's not either there or here, but the point is, I guess everyone sitting at that table reviews or is ultimately responsible for approving those bills, regardless of who may really just look at the intimate details of the bills. But I wanted to go back to my comment last week in terms of legal expenses, and I really wanted to go back and revisit some of the points or some of the concern that I just briefly touched upon last week in terms of how those bills are itemized, so we know what you guys are approving for and being paid for by taxpayer funds. And I probably understand why, after reading some of these bills now, why it probably took so long for the town administrator and probably our town attorney's office to get me copies of those legal bills, because they probably couldn't really even figure out themselves what they were looking for through an Oprah request. But anyway, I went through, and this goes on, so I'm just going to take 1 month's bill, and for the life of me, I don't understand why you guys approve these bills, or at the very least should probably ask for more details in terms of a case number, file number, name, or something, so you know what it's in reference to, and we as taxpayers that review it know that it's in reference to a topic. But for instance, this is just January of 2013. Email from Beth Cara, phone call from Beth Cara, phone call from Bob Bowden, phone call from Bob Bowden, telephone conference to Bob Bowden, email exchange with Beth Cara, phone call with Bob Bowden, email from Beth Cara, phone call with Cindy Kuzinster, email to Cindy Kuzinstner, phone call to Bob Bowden, email to Bob Bowden and Beth Cara, phone call to Bob Bowden, correspondence from Beth Cara, telephone conference with Bob Bowden, phone call with Bob Bowden, email to Township Committee, email from Beth Cara. And each of these items that I'm reading off have a dollar and obviously time associated with it, but you don't know what it's for. Phone call with Bob Bowden, phone call to Bob Bowden, email from Beth Cara, phone call to Cindy Kintzner, phone call to Bob Bowden, phone call to Mayor Fitzgerald. Well, he probably knows what that's about. Phone call with Beth Cara, emails from Cindy Kintzner, revised resolution and email to Bob Bowden, phone call with Bob Bowden. This 1 month alone, $912 or 34.3% of that month's legal bills went for charges that, and I just read them out for everyone to hear. I don't know what it's for. And I don't even know if you guys know what it's for. I hope you do. But this goes on. I just started going on for the first 6 months of 2013. Out of $9,880, and this is under general, 2,896 were all those examples, or 29.3% of just general stuff. So I think it would be wise for our town attorney to make sure they itemize and put in what it's in reference for your guys' benefits. So that way when you review the bills, you know exactly what bucket, what cost center it goes to. So there's no questions. And everyone's, again, this is for everyone's own protection here and understanding what these bills are going for, because these are not cheap bills. Thank you.
Any comments? Seeing none, close the public hearing and encourage you to make sure that you attend special meeting. Well, it's a regular meeting that's a special meeting. Next Township Committee meeting is Wednesday, April 29th, 2015 at 7:30. We'll be meeting 660 for Mr. Bowser. Item number 14, resolution 2015-54, executive session. Comments or motion?
All in favor? Opposed, none, motion carried. Not intending to come back in public session.
Thank you.